What's up everyone, it's Key Lewendorf, and today I'm going to teach you a very important skill in the world of magic, and that is called forcing a card. Now, what is forcing a card and how did it come about? So, forcing a card is the idea of taking a card, let's just say the Ace of Hearts, and what you do is you have somebody pick a card, but they unknowingly pick the Ace of Hearts, and what you do is you're actually forcing that card upon them, and you can do this many different ways, and I'm going to teach you 3 today. So this first force I'm going to teach you is called the Underspread Force. It's a super simple, super easy force, and it's actually one of my favorites. So you're just going to spread through the cards, and you're going to have a spectator point at any one of the cards. So let's say they point at this one. You're going to square up the cards, and you're going to show them the 10 of diamonds. And that's the card I forced to you. So let's get into how I did that. So you're going to have a force card. Depending on what effect you're doing, or if you just want to do this as a mind reading effect. So for this, we're going to use the 10 of diamonds. You're going to place the 10 of diamonds on top of the deck. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the force card and you're going to actually push it over into this hand. You're going to pat it a little bit. So you're going to go put it in the hand. I'm going to go through the cards, and what you're going to do is you're actually going to hold this one under with your fingers, and you're going to just push cards on top. So you're pretty much just spreading over that card. So from the bottom it looks like this. Just make sure none of these cards get under this card. So you push over. I'm going to do this a little bit elevated, that way you can see it better. You're going to have a spectator point at a card. Now you need to tell them to point and not take a card, otherwise you got to go into a different effect. You want them to point. That way you don't have them actually take a card out. So you push through, they point at a card, so say they point at this card. You take the rest of the deck and you push it all together, and in doing that, what you're doing is you're taking it and you're just squaring up so that it lines up with the card that it's called culling, but the card that you put into your hand originally, the forced card. And then you present the card, and you force the card on them. And that is the Underspread Force. Alright, this next one is called the Slip Force. This one's super fun too. So we're going to have a force card, so it's going to be the 9 of spades. So you're going to riffle down, and what you're going to do is you're going to have your spectator say stop whenever they like. So they say stop, and they take the 9 of spades, and that is a slip force. Now this one's super simple again. This one's a little bit more pressure, so you're going to riffle down, and the force card's going to be on top. So 9 of spades is on top. You're going to riffle. You're going to take this hand and you're going to grab the top packet, but you're going to kind of keep it loose. That makes sense? So you want to kind of have more of the bottom of this packet grabbed. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the pinky and the ring finger, and you're going to, and you can do your middle finger too. And what you're going to do is you're going to grab the top with those fingers, and you're going to just slide it until it lands on that second packet. So riffle, slide off, and then you present them the card. That is a slip force. Super fun, super easy, and super straight to the point. Alright, this last one, I actually did not like this one for the longest time, but if you do it like in a really good way, it looks good. So we're going to force the 9 of spades again, but I'm just going to talk about how much fun forces are. So forces, you can use them to do any kind of trick. You can just do it as a mentalist trick, but for this one we're going to kind of just do a little bit of mentalism, I would say. So the easiest way is to kind of go into it as a way of mind reading. So you're going to lift up half the pack, and you're going to tell them to pick up the card that's in the half, and that should be the 9 of spades. Now that is the crisscross force. So it's the idea of using a break. So the human attention span is 7 seconds. So what you're doing is you're creating the illusion that you cut the cards, and then you're talking to break the attention span, and you want to address them by looking them in the eye and speaking to them. That way you kind of take away from the cards themselves, because to them the cards can be like this, which, I mean, you can still do it this way. It just looks pretty weird. It's just safer to go in an X. So the speaking addresses their attention span in a different way, so that when you come back to this and you lift up and you say, okay, I'm going to take half the pack, that card I want you to pick up and just look at it and put it back into the deck. That's the card you're forcing, the Nine of Spades. So it's a very, very simple way to kind of, if you're good at talking, this is the one to do. There's no right or wrong force. These are all good to use. They're very fun to use. I just like to interchange them just to kind of see how I can work around people, and that's something that you do when you get better at your magic. Is there's going to be a point where you're like, let's see what I can do with this crowd. Let's see what I can do with this crowd, and it's exciting to see like what you can do and switch it up. Sometimes there's days where you're just going to do the same thing over and over again, and that's fine. And some days you're just like, hey, let's switch it up and do a different force. And I just gave you 3. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Take care, be safe, and have fun with the magic.